there folks, on behalf of Astro Matrix, my name is Marcelle and I'm here today to talk to you about the full moon in Pisces that is coming up on the 20th of September at 28 degrees. And so whenever we have a full moon, we experience an opposition to the sun. And so this would create the Virgo-Pisces axis. So before I dive into this, I just need to mention that I do a tarot reading at the end of each astrology report, just to give more information for what's happening on behalf of the collective. And also just to ask, please, to like and subscribe to our channel if you do like our content. So this full moon is, as I mentioned, at 28 degrees of Pisces, which means that the sun is at 28 degrees of Virgo. So this axis has, for me personally, has to do with, it really represents the masculine, feminine qualities. So the Virgo energy, although it is an earth sign and it is a feminine sign, the quality of the Virgo energy is very much about this single-pointed focus, which is, it's got a very masculine energy to it. It's very much about direction, it's about drive, it's about focus, it's about goals. It rules the 6th house, and it's very much related to how it is that we're being of service. So it's how it is that we are able to reach our goals and the tools that we implement in order to achieve that. The Pisces energy for me is based on the feminine energy. It's ruled by Neptune, it rules the 12th house, and it's very much connected to the feminine chaos. So it's that realm within our lives where we have no control, where we cannot define things because it has not yet come into some kind of form. It's just the potential. So the 12th house, the Piscean energy, is really good at going with the flow and just allowing things to unfold, allowing things to be what they are without needing to forge it into direction or control, such as the Virgo energy, which is more about attention to detail. So this Piscean full moon, it's helpful to see where it falls in your chart, because it'll allow you to get a sense of that area of your chart that's going to be under this influence of the Virgo-Pisces axis. So it has to do with things that we think we want versus what we need, and it has to do a lot with our inner world, our inner realm, the fluidity of our inner realm versus control. So the more we have control, then we're leaning more towards the Virgo qualities. The more we have fluidity and flow and potential chaos in our lives, the less structure we have. So we need to find a balance between the two of those. So seeing where the full moon falls into your chart will allow us to get a sense of this area in your life that's needing to come into some kind of balance. So alongside this, we also have, so the full moon has just moved over Neptune at 21 degrees, which is going retrograde. So it'll highlight something that is either not clear, or it may bring some confusion into your emotional world. So the moon moves much faster. So it's a day or two where you may experience either illumination or confusion around that area of your chart. And the sun would have had Mars moving over it. There would have been a conjunction between the sun and Mars just a day or two before the full moon. And often the sun and Mars coming together can even either indicate an increased direction of focus and energy and drive, because the sun is all about assertion and drive, and it is in Virgo. It can also bring up tension around that, especially because it's slowly coming into opposition to this full moon in Pisces. So it's finding the balance between our spiritual pursuits and our work pursuits, or the routines in our lives that give structure and meaning to the bigger picture that we're trying to create within our work environment. So on the full moon, we also have a very beautiful trine between Mercury and Jupiter. So this is incredibly auspicious. It indicates the potential for expansion, success, growth. Mercury, of course, has to do with the mind, the logic, the rational, the thinking, communication. And so coming into a trine with Jupiter, this is very optimistic and positive. It can indicate epiphanies, realizations. However, and of course there's always an however, the Jupiter, the Mercury does come into a square with Pluto, and the Jupiter comes into a sextile with Pluto. So the Jupiter is working, so that the Jupiter Mercury trine is stronger because it's exact, whereas the Mercury Pluto square is not exact. So we may find that there's something on a mental level that we are grappling with that is not entirely clear. So the full moon, it's kind of a build-up leading, this crescendo leading to this release, this culmination. This full moon is a period of things coming into fruition, ripening, and then of course it moves back out again. So the energies that would be building up, the positive energies that are building up from the new moon in Virgo, will be leading us to this Pisces full moon. So the Virgo new moon very much has to do with, it's more grounding. It has more of a grounding influence. So the idea is, how can we bring this grounding into our lives so that we can allow more of our spiritual pursuits to take form? It's like a kite flying in the sky. This kite can reach the greatest heights, provided that it has that rooting on the earth. So the Pluto-Mercury square can indicate things from the subconscious being pulled to the surface, grappling with that, and things not being clear. But because it does come into the sextile with Jupiter, Jupiter is there supporting this Pluto with finding some, and then of course the Jupiter is in a trine to the Mercury. So there is something deep from within our subconscious that we're grappling with up until this full moon, that is allowed to find clarity and shape and direction or resolution during this period of this full moon. And it potentially has to do with the Virgo Pisces axis, because it's all happening at the same time. And again, that's the theme around our spiritual realms, and I feel that it's very much connected to the 5D. So are we able to execute healthy routines in our lives every day alongside a good spiritual practice, so that we have this healthy balance of structure versus the healthy feminine chaos? So as I mentioned, if we have too much structure, we have too much control. If we have too much of that fluidity and chaos and going with the flow, we don't have any direction with bringing things into form. So it's the balance of the two. All right, so thank you for that. And now I've got the cards here which I'm shuffling. And on behalf of the collective, I'm shuffling these cards for the full moon in Pisces. And we're shuffling these cards, and already some have fallen out. Let me just pick them up. Okay, just too many there's a whole bunch of them, so I'm not going to take them into account. So on behalf of the collective, we're doing a reading for the full moon in Pisces. On behalf of the collective, this is a reading for the full moon in Pisces. All right. And so I'm going to pick one card just to find out what the theme of the reading is. And it fell out. Let's see what it is. Okay. Interesting. So we have the Five of Wands. And the Five of Wands is a very tense card of conflict. But it's not a conflict with self. It's a conflict with others. So it's this tension that has been happening, and because it's in reverse, this card is in reverse, it indicates either the need to come out of or coming out of this period of conflict with others. So let's see what we get around this. So with this full moon, we'd like to know, first of all, the first question is, what is this full moon in Pisces wanting to show us? What is this full moon in Pisces wanting to show us? Okay, one card. Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles, chilled, easygoing, grounded, rooted, connected to her body, connected to sensuality. It's incredibly feminine. She's also, because the Pentacles has to do with the realm of finances, she's also connected to financial abundance and growth. Okay, so this is what the full moon is trying to show us. All right, so the next question is, what is the Sun in Virgo trying to show us? And I've gotten the Three of Cups, and it's in reverse. So the Three of Cups is all about having fun. It's all about having fun in a group. And when it's in reverse, it means that possibly you may be working too hard, and possibly you may be spending too much time not allowing yourself to enjoy the simple pleasures of life. All right. So what is the Jupiter in a trine to Mercury wanting us to see? What is the Jupiter in a trine to Mercury wanting us to see? Okay, and we have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. And the Four of Pentacles is a card of control, or the card of needing to hold on to our resources. For me, it's the control card. And whenever it comes up, I know that there is a need to let go. It does connect to the Pentacles, which is the realm of finances. And so because it's in reverse, I feel that it's talking about coming out of a period of either really having to be frugal with one's resources, or feeling in a position of control in one's life. And I feel that it may have to do with, because the theme of the reading is this Five of Wands in reverse. So I feel that it may have to do with a tension that's been playing out with others, an ongoing tension that's been playing out with others. There may have been elements of control in this, trying to, to preserve this period. I really get the feeling that you've been working very hard. There's been a lot of chaos happening on the planet at the moment. Things are not entirely certain. It may have, I feel the planet is in a period of kind of going through shadow at the moment. So it shakes things up. It brings our shadow to the surface. It creates tension with others. When the shadow fully comes up, it's hard to hold back intention with others. Those unexpressed, unspoken things now come to the surface. And so you may find that there have been things that have been boiling up over the last few months. And so I feel like this is a period where we may potentially be coming out of it, or there's a need to come out of it. There's a need to start becoming aware of how much of your energy you're giving to the importance of work and money. But also I feel that this Mercury in a trine to Jupiter with the Four of Pentacles in reverse is indicating that we may be coming out of a bit of a dry spell, a bit of a dry period. And there may be a shift in, because Mercury has to do with the mind, so there may be a transformation that happens around how it is that we are working with our resources, working with our time and energy especially, and how we're able to let go a little bit. So that let go part is very much connected to the Piscean energy. And so that we can access the Queen of Pentacles, who is, connected to abundance, her body, the earth, sensuality, enjoys food, and is very much connected to her femininity as well. So obviously some of you are men watching this this reading. Femininity is simply the quality of not needing to have to do something or achieve something or focus on something all the time, but also allowing time and space to not, and to enjoy, and to reflect and relax, and to allow the chaos of not knowing or not having control to come to the surface. So I'm going to ask, I'm going to pick one more card. Let's see what comes up. And I'd like to know what potential outcome we may experience through this full moon. What potential outcome we may experience through this full moon. Okay, here we go. And I'm going to pick one card. Okay, it's the moon. So we're going to experience the moon during this full moon, which may be a period of confusion and lack of clarity. For me personally, I always experience a build-up leading to the full moon. The full moon is like the intensity. It's like the pimple is just about to pop, and then it subsides and it's released. Then there's that release. So I guess with this full moon card, the moon card coming up, it's talking about that potential confusion, especially because Pluto is in the mix in a square to Mercury. So our minds are being affected about how it is that we perceive and are aware of this Virgo Pisces axis that is playing out. So there we go. I hope that shed some light on your situation. And as always, have a beautifully juicy, powerful, epic full moon. If you did enjoy this content, please do like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you. Bye for now.